After Friday's class and thinking about it over the weekend, I did not feel comfortable moving on in the unit. Right? We have one more topic to do, and I don't feel comfortable just because I don't think we've gotten enough practice at something as difficult as what we went over on Friday. So here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going over 2 more problems for solving equations. All right, that are in your packet, and then you guys are going to go and try the 3 problems in your book. Okay, so that's the deal there. All right, that is the deal there. That's what we're going to do. All right, and then tomorrow we'll do the last unit, which means tests will now be on Thursday, not Wednesday. And everything's getting moved back a day, which is not a big deal. I want to make sure we're all comfortable before we move on, and I don't feel comfortable. So, all right, we need more practice at this, and I don't even know how many of you actually practice this weekend. So these aren't the easiest problems to figure out. All right, so what I need you to do, go to your packet right now. It's where we finished on Friday. I had you guys finish number 1 in class. Some of you did, some of you didn't. If you did not, here you go. D, I'm not doing it. You can do it on your own when I give you time here at the end of class. D equals 1 and D equals 4 should have been my final answers. Thanks, go. Oh boy, come on. All right, let me get that back up. D equals 1 and D equals 4 for that one. I'm going to do number 2 with you right now. So as I'm bringing this back up, take a look at number 2. Okay, take a look at number 2. A reminder, I'm not looking for a fraction for my answer, am I? I'm looking for P equals at the end, something. P equals a number. Anytime you got that equal sign there. Okay, common denominator. What do you got for me? I'm not pulling any punches here today. Let's just get after it. 8, Sarah, common denominator there.
It's going to be P plus 1 and P minus 3.
There you go. We know what the deal is. P plus 1, P minus 3. There's nothing to factor. There's nothing in common. So Sarah just said throw all the leftovers in. How many fractions do I have up here? 3. You have to multiply even the 1 by this. Don't forget about that. So let's multiply this first one. Ready? P plus 1, P minus 3. Your goal is to eliminate every denominator when solving these equations. Eliminate every denominator. What crosses out here, top and bottom? Here we go. Sarah, back to you.
P plus 1.
P plus 1's gone, gone. Tell me the 2 things you need to multiply now. Sarah, back to you. What are the 2 things I need to multiply?
You multiply P with P.
Yep.
And then -3.
Did you just get word that?
Yes.
Okay, so I was going to say 7th period starts a little earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go decimal number 4.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it like that up there. All right, I'm going to leave it like that. Again, guys, if you want to just distribute that right now and write P squared minus 3P, I'm all right with that. Okay, so let's go to the next fraction. Just give me some time here, and I'll do my best here to fill you in.
Thank you.
Okay, next fraction. P plus 1 times P minus 3. All right, here we go. Let me know what crosses out top and bottom. What's going to cross out? 13, Alexa?
P minus 3.
P minus 3's are gone. Somebody tell me what are the 2 things you're going to multiply together. 16. Let's try that again. 13, Alexa, back to you.
I'm going to multiply P minus 1 and 3.
Ooh, no, no.
P plus 1.
What are you going to multiply together?
P plus 1 and 3.
No.
What? That's the same thing we did on the other one, then.
Yeah, I know. What are we doing with these 2 fractions here, the first 2?
Adding them?
Is that an addition sign in between?
Yeah.
It is? All right, never mind. My bad. I'm the idiot. Yep, got it. Sorry. I thought we were subtracting, so I was waiting to hear a -3, but nope. Yep, one jab. All right, everyone good so far what we're doing? Okay, now here comes the big one. Let me get rid of all this right here, just so I can clean it up a little bit. Don't forget to multiply the 1 by your common denominator. P plus 1, P minus 3. Hey, is there anything to cross out here? No, there's nothing. Look, it's a denominator of 1. There's nothing to cross out there. We're done. Okay, we are done. So, plus, you're going to have to do a little double distribution here in a second. All equal to 0. All right, we good? Yep. Sarah?
Subtracted the 1 on both sides. You're not-
Okay, no, you can, but you still got to multiply that side too then. Okay? And you're going to have to move it back over eventually anyway. So that, yes, that's fine. It's just a little extra work at the end. All right, here we go. P squared minus 3p plus 3p plus 3. No issues there, right? Just plain distribution. All right, help me. Ready? PP here. P squared. P times negative 3. Negative 3p. That's what I thought too, yeah? Now what do I have to distribute? 1 plus 1p minus 3 equals 0. There we go. Now we better take our time here because there's a lot to combine on the left side. That looks like a total mess. P squared?
2.
I got 2 of them. Oh, stop with the p to the 4th business. All right, it's p squared, add another one. You got 2 of them. All right, what's the deal with all the single p's here? Well, the first 2 do what? Go see you later. And then I got negative 3 plus p. Negative 2p. And how about just my numbers? I got positive 3 and negative 3. They're gone. Everyone agrees? Okay, so this is it. Equal to 0. On Friday, I said, okay, you got to get one side equal to 0. Well, it already is. So ready? Bust out your best factoring game right now. 2p squared minus 2p. Your best factoring game. What do you want to do with it? 20? Ryan, what can I do with that?
P plus 2, P plus 1.
But there's a number out in front. I can't do 2 parentheses here. First of all, it's not 3 terms, and the number out in front is not 1, so I can't pull that. Just look at it right now. They have some stuff in common. P and
2.
a 2. So take out a GCF. Right? Hey, we always start at GCF. Always start at GCF. What's left now, Ryan? Now redeem yourself.
P minus 1.
There we go. Now finish this. Each one gets set equal to 0. So tell me one thing you're going to set equal to 0. P minus 1 gets set equal to 0. And the GCF, 2p, is also set equal to 0. So let's see our 2 answers we're going to have. On the right side, p equals positive 1. Ooh, what about that left side? Oh boy. Oh boy.
0.
What do you have to do on both sides? Divide by 2. 0 divide by 2.
0.
Okay. And we said maybe. Maybe those are answers, right? Take the less than a minute right now. Go to your calculators. I'll do the same. Let's go to your calculators. Now, hey, our variable was p here. If you are more comfortable dealing with an x, you can use it in your calculator. That's fine. All right, there is a p button right above the 8 if you prefer to use the p instead. All right, what answer we want to test first? 0. Ready? 0. Go back here. 0. Then what? Store. Do you want to use x or p? X, fine. Just make sure it remains x. Plug it in for x. Done. Left side. Plug in your left side of the equation. I don't have my cheat sheet. What do I got? Emily, you gonna help me out here?
Yeah.
Here we go. P
Over
or x over x plus 1.
Yeah.
Done.
Plus
Plus
3 over x minus 3
x minus 3
plus 1.
plus 1. What's the right side equal to?
0.
Let's hope. Boom! Got it. There it is. 0 works. So circle that bad boy. That works. What was my other answer? 1. So now I'll take 1, store it in for x. Now I've never shown this to you. I think some of you guys know it exists. Maybe some of you don't though. I don't need to retype everything again. I have a little up button here that'll literally copy and paste that thing in there for me. Oh, there it is. Now it'll plug 1 in. Boom, 0. Perfect. So I did not need to reject any of my answers. 1 and 0. Both work. Accept them both. Go ahead and ask her here because this next one I'm going to do is going to knock some socks off. Questions? Multiply the 1 by the common denominator as well. We're all good? All right, let's go then. Number 4, back up. Number 4. Because I know you're going to do one in a minute in your in the textbook. All right, let's talk. Got to do common denominator first. Anything you want to do before, just talk to me. Let's talk through this. I would not find a common denominator yet. Why not?
You can factor
Factor what?
the y squared minus 9.
Into what?
Y plus 3, y minus 3.
Okay. All right. Good. I still would not find a common denominator yet. Here's why. Does anything look strange in the denominator?
It's the same.
What's that?
They're opposites.
I do. Ooh, nice. Nice. I got a pair of opposites in there, don't I? I got y minus 3 and I got 3 minus y. Those are opposites, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to suggest is don't leave this hanging there. All right? Don't leave it hanging. If you see a pair of opposites, cross out the one that starts with the number here, 3 minus y, and take out a -1 and watch what happens. Watch the magic. If I take out a -1, what's the 3 become? -3. And what's the -y become? Positive y. Do you see anything that matches that up there? Yeah, you do. Look, look. -3 plus y, y minus 3. Those are exactly the same. Okay? You probably don't understand why I'm going to have you do that, but you will in about 2 seconds. Give me something in common. Y plus 3 is in common. Anything else in common? Now that I took out the -1, what's in common now? Y minus 3. All right, it made another pair in common. Ooh, hold on. Don't we have to put in leftovers? I sniff a couple a leftover up there. What happened? I took care of the y plus 3s. Whoop! Took care of the y minus 3s. -1 is still up there. Got to be in your common denominator. That's the toughest part. We're done already. That was the toughest part of the problem. We're all good. Y plus 3 in common. Y minus 3 after I took out the -1. And then the -1 was left over. Okay, I'm going to turn this over to you now. Go ahead and multiply the first one by everything. -1, y plus 3, and y minus 3. What crosses out, top and bottom?
Y plus 3.
Relax. Emily, what crosses out?
Y plus 3.
Y plus 3s. Okay, here's where people started freaking out now. Because you guys are so used to just multiplying 2 things and you're done. Well, how many things do I have to multiply here? -1 times y minus 3 times y. And it's just like, oh boy. Do 2 at a time, please. Do 2 at a time. Pick 2 right now and multiply them together. What are the easiest 2 to multiply up there? -1 and y give you what? Okay, so take your answer and now multiply it. What's still remaining to multiply? y minus 3, okay? You can only, if there's 3 things to multiply, everyone, just take 2 at a time and multiply that answer by whatever's the third one is. Everyone see where I got that? Negative 1 times y is negative y, and then I got to multiply it by whatever was left. Next. Told you we weren't joking around here. Negative 1, y plus 3, y minus 3. Okay, take your time. What cancels out here now? Look at that denominator we rewrote. Okay, Eliana, you ready? What's going to cross out here?
-1.
Okay, hold on, one at a time here. Okay, everybody, the negative 1s are gone. You said something else. Y minus 3s are gone. I don't now. Does everyone see? I only have 2 things to multiply. Be careful though. Why am I saying be careful? You got to distribute, not a y.
Negative y.
Negative y. Yes, distribute a negative y. So what's that going to be? Minus. You're right. I should have called on somebody. You're right. There you go, Lizzie. Negative.
Y.
Oh, go. Just go do it.
Oh.
Just do it. Go ahead. Distribute. Y minus 3. Okay, I'm taking negative y. What was left on top? Negative y times y plus. Do you see how that parenthesis was left after I crossed everything out? So I'm doing negative y times. Okay, go ahead. Distribute. That's what I'm asking. Where's that coming from? You're doing negative y, right? Times what was left on top. Okay, here we go. Negative y squared and
Plus 3y. Negative 2.
are we okay?
Yeah.
We sure?
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. Go ahead, Louie.
I just had a question. If we crossed out like the negative ones, like why are we multiplying it by y? Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Yep, subtraction. That's why. Lizzie, we sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then finally with the 18. Negative 1, y plus 3, y minus 3. What's canceling out here now? Oh boy, no one asked anybody. There we go. Elliot.
Yep.
What crosses out here?
The y plus 3 and y minus 3.
Yep. What's left over?
Then you have negative 1
Times,
18.
which would give me equals.
Negative 18.
All right. Good job, boss. Ava? Question?
No, I just got confused for a second.
Ready, guys? Negative y squared plus what? 3y, just distribute. Because remember, that came from multiplying 3 things together. Minus y squared minus 3y equals 18. All right, you guys go. Take over. What do you got? Yeah, relax. All right, over there, Nora. Relax. Okay? You got me. Great job. Even the great ones make mistakes. All right? All right, where are you guys going from here? What do we got? Negative 2y squared. Yep. Plus 3y.
No.
Cancel.
Okay. Yep. Cancels. So it's equal to. All right, I'm still listening to you.
Divide by -2.
Okay, sure. Now I can do that because there's no single y as well. Okay. There's just y squared, so that's okay to divide by -2. So y squared equals 9. I got you. I'm fine with what you're doing.
The square root of 9.
Yep.
Y equals.
That's not what I'm okay with. And I figured that was going to happen.
Oh man. Make it equal
Your
to
guy
0.
said.
Oh, can you do
zero.
difference of perfect squares? Bring the 9.
But bring the
It's
nine
not the fact that you're taking the square root and telling me y equals 3. That's not the problem I have. The problem is that's only part of the solution.
Bring the 9 over instead.
Yeah.
You could do that, Nor. You could, and do difference of two perfect squares. Now, think in your mind right now. Ready?
Get him on
That would be y plus and y 3. So what would be your two answers?
Oh, you have the plus and minus.
Positive 3 and
the.
And remember, anytime you take the square root, you got the negative version as well. That's what I had a problem with. Good. Grab the calcs. Here we go. Store in 3 first. Let's store in 3.
That's what my stomach sounds like.
That's really gross.
Sorry.
Thank you for sharing. Very insightful.
Storing in 3. Problems?
So is it attempted to divide by 0?
Hmm.
I think I did something wrong though.
Bless
No.
Thank you.
Anybody else issues? Put it in 3. Yes, I hope. Because, hey, go ahead. Right here, this second fraction. What happens when you plug in 3?
0.
You get 0 in the denominator. That's why your calculator is saying no go. So that can't be a solution. And how about negative 3? Can negative 3 be a solution? You can use your calculator. Your calculator will give you error. Or you can plug in negative 3 to the first fraction, and what happens? I get 0 as well. So that's a no-go. So, what do we do now? What do we do when all our solutions have been rejected? Correct. No solution. There is no solution that works here. So I just wanted to throw that at you in case you see it again. Okay, you got more than half the class left. Here's your options. You go back and try out number 1 to get d equals 1 and d equals 4. If you're good there, then we're hitting up these 3 problems right here. Have your Chromebooks out, Google Classroom opened up to our answer key, and there's no other options except for those 3 problems and number 1 in your packet. Giving you an extra day to get a little bit better at these. All right, extra day. Here we go. Okay, well, let's first start with 3 and 12. Okay, a number both of them go into 12, so 12 is part of it. Okay, and then you are correct. What's left over? There you go. Okay, and remember, here's the problem. Let's say you pick 3. Okay, when you go to cross out,
I don't know.
okay, ready? When you go to cross out, you're going to be like, all right, 3 into 12 goes how many times?
12 times 3.
No. When you cross off here, you're going to cross off, like you did here, right? That's good job. But here, you're going to go, okay, 3 goes into 12, and what would you put in place of the 12 then? Because you cross off, it's like 3 over 12. So a 1 here and a 1 on the bottom. A 4. You see that? Problem though, you still got a denominator. And when we do these, we want them to all wipe out. So that's how I know 3 can't work. But if you do 12, do you see how they're going to cross out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, got it.
Okay, so I'm trying to redo the first one
Yep.
down here, and when you're doing the common denominator for this,
Mhm.
you just
You
get.
there's nothing in common, so it's just putting together, correct?
Oh, okay.
Yep, d times d minus 2.
Okay. And then do on the homework because I was trying to work on it.
Yep.
I was confused with number 2 because
What did you think the common denominator was?
I said it was 3x minus 5 plus 12
Plus 12. Common denominator should all
be multiplied together.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So let's start. Okay. let's start, because you have three denominators. You got 3, x minus 5, and 12, right?
Yeah.
3 and 12 are just numbers all by themselves. So let's find a common denominator for 3 and 12. What number goes into both?
3.
12 doesn't go into 3.
Oh.
I need a number. Let me rephrase that. Find a number that both go into.
1. Oh, wait. 3. Both go into like.
But 12 doesn't go into 3. That's why I can't
Oh,
use 3. See what I mean?
30. Oh, 24. That's like the first thing I think.
Okay, that's fine. It works, right? It works.
Okay.
There's smaller ones, but 24 works. So ready? 24 takes care of the 3 and the 12,
Yeah.
and then you got to put the leftover x minus 5.
So
So you're
it'd be like 24. But then
Correct.
I'm gonna get like a huge number.
You're gonna have to reduce. So now you just go ahead, and what's gonna happen? Ready? The 3 and the 24 are gonna cross out, and you're left with what?
Like 8.
Times 7.
Oh.
Okay.
So it would be like 24. X minus 5. So you cross it out.
Mhm.
And then you multiply this by 8.
Yep.
And then also x minus 5?
Hold on.
Because that's not crossing out there.
What was on the bottom to begin with?
There's just like a 3.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna have to be
8.
8 times 7 times x minus 5.
On the top?
Mhm.
Okay.
But like we said in class, do 2 at a time right now. So I would just do 7 times 8
And get like 56.
and multiply that by x minus 5.
Okay. Okay.
2
So
at a time.
okay.
Okay, not all 3 at a time.
Alright, I'll work on that later.
Evelyn, you're on deck.
So when you're gonna do stuff, how do I don't
Okay,
know.
ready? Yeah, you do. 12 over 3. The 3 goes, and what are you left with up here?
So you should 4.
Not on the bottom though. On top, replacing the 12. Because 3 goes into 12 4 times.
And then just.
Now you got to do 7 times 4 times x minus 5. And like I just said in class, do 2 at a time right now. So what are the easiest 2 to do? 7 and 4, right?
Yeah, like.
Well, hold on, one step at a time. Ready? So you see the 3 I got to multiply together.
Yeah, so 7 for 28.
So 28 times the x minus 5. So you got to distribute the 28.
X minus 140.
Correct. That's what you did there. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Evelyn.
How am I gonna find a common number?
Okay, ready? Let's start. Do you see the 2 denominators that are just numbers?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's find a common denominator between 3 and 12. So you're looking for a number that both go into.
12.
Done. Okay, so there's 12. Put that in.
So
You
it'd
just
be
put in what's in common between 3 and 12, so 12, and then what's left over.
X minus 5.
Done.
Should I put in parentheses?
So that's what you're going to end up multiplying all 3 of these by.
Okay.
So when you multiply the first one by it,
The 3 doesn't cross out.
it will, because you got a 12 on top,
Oh, okay.
remember, right?
Yeah.
So the 12 and the 3 will cross out, but you'll be left with what? A 4.
Okay.
Times 7 times x minus 5.
Okay.
All right, but the 3 will cancel out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's like 4 left.
Because you have, here you go. What is it? 5 over
7 over 3 minus 3 over x plus or minus 5.
Okay, so common denominator, 12 times x minus 5, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's good there? Right? Okay. You got a 12 on top and a 3 on the bottom.
Oh.
12 goes into 3 4 times. No more denominator. So you have a 4, an x minus 5, and a 7 all to multiply by. What are the 2 easiest ones to start with? 4 and 7 give you 28. Still got to multiply what now? There we go. So that's what that first one turns into. Okay. You got to get one side equal to 0 though. D squared is already positive, right? I always, whatever's positive, whatever's squared, I always like to remain positive. So we're gonna move all this over here. And then you'll have three terms, the number out in front is one, find two numbers that multiply to this and add to this. Okay, but you can't do anything until one side's equal to zero. Correct. Yep. Well, well, you already start there now, you're fine, just take the 5D, move it over, -4, move it over. Okay?
So like, still with minus.
+4, yep.
Are we supposed to have two stations?
No, not necessarily, you can have one, we just had none up there.
Okay.
Okay. Just check it. See what happens.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. The phone will not tell you how to do it. I want to be in class so bad. Okay, here we go. As you can tell, we're pretty deep into this first unit. Okay, they got one more day tomorrow, and then they're gonna have their test on Thursday. Obviously, I don't plan on you taking it, but it is a huge piece that you figure out what you missed, because we do take the regents in January, as you know. That's why you're taking this course, from what I hear. And that's a big part of the regents exam, these topics. Okay. Couple just quick highlights here. If you're ever absent, I record all my lessons and put them on my YouTube page. You can find the instructions up on Google Classroom, hopefully. I don't know if the tech department has added you yet to my Google Classroom page, so that's something you want to take a look at. Tests and quizzes are 90% of the overall grade, and then there's a 10% where I got to do some assignments together. Alright, really, other than that, this is what you get, some notes, some time to do the assignment every day. Test or quiz every unit,
319 times
and then our big reconsideration in January.
What's your common denominator?
How do you want me to common denominator? 12.
Try it, do what you can. I have periods 3, 5, and 6 free every day, along with after school.
Well, 4 doesn't go, 12 go
That's
into
you.
4.
Okay, to get you trying to get you caught up. Obviously, you
And
start
3
fresh
doesn't
in
go into
unit 2,
4 either.
but you definitely, along the lines here, want to get what you missed in this entire.
Sarah's like, yeah, I know, I
That's
used
part
it
of the
before.
regents.
Can I?
Wait, but now I think I'm doing it
I
wrong.
want to redo the entire thing.
So close.
Wait, but why does mine look like that? I did something wrong.
23. It's 28 times negative.
Oh, I know what you.
Am I doing it wrong?
Yeah, you.
Can I not
For
add
some
That
reason,
was
you
a
put
7x
a 0,
minus
you
35.
should not have.
Because I added
Where
the
does
other
4
side.
come from first? That was the GCF.
Put them all on
Wait,
one
what's
side.
28 times negative 5?
Okay. When we say GCF with 3 and 12, we need a number that both go in 3
It's
and 12 don't go in 4.
one negative one over
Okay?
Negative 1
Evenly.
4.
So we need a number that both 3 and 12 go in.
Alright, well,
My answer
Alright,
is
so we need
9.
to think about a number that's 3 and 12.
Yeah, I
go
got
in.
2.
You got 9?
wait, okay, so.
Like for the final answer?
Go 11 next time.
Wait, does
that-
he show the answer on
And
the
then
Well,
I
12
just
doesn't go into, 3
moved
doesn't go
and
into
I
12.
kept the x's
12.
on one side.
Go into
You
12.
substituted
So you
x
gotta
on one
put
side
a
to
12
get
there.
x equals.
Okay, and then
Duh.
you
Zero
I'm
is
doing it
when
like
we
a
starting
left-
the
Okay,
terms.
but
so that'll
I'm
be
doing
3,
it
you'll
like
have
you.
12 on
Yeah,
top.
you're doing
So
it
that's why you
Okay,
pass
but
it
where
out,
do you
you
put
don't-
all the numbers? Oh, plus 95
Sir?
and then minus
Yeah.
28.
Every time
I just had to stay negative.
See? Gosh.
Okay, why did this do
Too much for me.
5 has a green circle.
You just crossed off the x minus 5s and that was it.
19x minus
Should've been 12.
28x. Give me a negative.
That's it.
Negative 9. But you have a negative on the other side too, so.
No, that's on top.
Did you subtract
So that-
19x?
You remember, you can't cross off 2 things there in the numerator,
I
right? So you
didn't,
should just been left with
I
12
didn't do
and
the
minus
x's, I
12.
put x's on one side.
This is a lot.
So you subtracted just a big number.
So you
From
have
9. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that
coming
makes
back.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay, you see just the numbers 3 and 12?
you have negative
Okay, so we need to find a
157
common
equals 9x.
denominator between them. And that would be a number that both goes,
Equals negative 9x.
12 doesn't go in.
I have negative 81
Right, a number
equals
full
negative
chords
9x because negative
Oh, yeah.
76 plus 95 is
Okay,
negative
that's fine. It works.
95?
So 24
Oh, I did it wrong.
is for 3 and 12, and then what's still left over?
Now you gotta.
5, right? So
Perfect
there's your
square.
common denominator. 24 times x minus 5, so that's what all three of those are going to be.
You could. 81 is a perfect square.
Okay, but why would you
Just
ever
numbers.
need to use this word
Wait, so do
Fine.
I divide negative?
Usually you want to find the
negative
smallest
81
one.
divided by
There
negative
was a
9.
smaller one than 24, but it's
Yeah,
And then you get
it's gonna
9
deal with larger numbers.
There you go.
equals
Molly?
x.
Yeah.
Did it?
So are there actually
Yeah,
options?
Yep.
6 squared.
Take out a negative 1 out of that one.
Right.
Yeah.
But
That was
then,
a doozy.
so then it would be negative 2 plus y.
Which is the same exact thing as
You'll
y
get higher
minus
than a 75.
2. Same
Which is
exact thing.
85.
Because now that gives you something else in common. Because they have a y plus 2, now they also have a y minus
Right,
2.
you guys cheated minus y and y minus 2.
You could, but the problem is now you're probably going to end up with a fraction where you have to
Like,
multiply
I'll show you my
four things
test.
together.
I wrote.
Okay, so.
Emily,
you
what did you
have
get for
negative
number
one
2?
over it,
Yep.
and you could write
Guys,
it right either way, like 2 minus
let me
y.
pull it
No,
out.
no,
Just
no,
started.
gotta write that.
No,
You want
Number
roll
one.
test?
Wait, no,
Gotta get rid
Well,
of
I'm
it.
the
y
Thanks.
minus
Yes,
2.
I would probably prefer that.
Either way.
Emily, which
Either
one
way.
is
So
it?
either way.
What one?
For the one where it's 12
Correct.
x minus 5.
Oh,
These are the
I
same
got
things.
9.
Okay.
I got
And then we just
5
put
again.
negative 1 there to make
Correct.
Okay, you're wrong.
Okay.
Just go, what
And
I
that's
do
where
wrong.
you're gonna end up multiplying all
What?
three by.
Where'd you get 9 numbers from?
Correct.
Zero. I was like, well, oh,
Yep, we have to
zero.
say,
Save
zero for another day.
420. 31.
Cause you
Wait,
multiply it.
No.
I did just start losing.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Again.
Give me yours. I want to see
It does.
it.
You got, look, you got a 24 on top and a 3 on the bottom. They can cross out and you're left with an 8 on top. It's like 24 over 3.
Just me.
It's 8.
Yeah,
Right?
but Emily, like, things like
Where did you get-
the
Why'd you
negative
make that
number-
4?
The 24 is gone.
What are
And
you
the
talking
three is
about, Sarah?
Okay.
Why'd you make
Right.
it come here?
Because right now I'm looking at 24 over 3. They can cross out.
Okay,
and
I
you're
got
left
it.
with an 8
I
on
just
top.
didn't know how to do those.
Because when 12 and 3 is square,
Oh.
See that or no?
I said 12 times 7.
Okay, because it's, okay, on the top you got
I
24.
suck.
On the bottom you got a 3. 24 over 3.
ugh,
I'm on the same problem. This is my 4th time doing it.
No, we're
Okay,
not, we're gonna use it now,
practice makes
right? Because
perfect.
it's now I have 3 things to multiply together.
I'm
I
stressed.
can't cross, remember, I
Me
can't cross
too.
the 7 off of anything because everything's on top here. You can't cross out 2 times. Only a top and a bottom.
Guys, on number 5, make sure you
No. Ready? You got 3
I
things.
got this.
Oh, I
times.
hate
7
doing that
times 8.
stuff.
56
It's
times.
x minus 5 and
Third
x minus 4, Emily.
Correct.
Remember that.
You don't, there's no like
Ding.
distribution. It's all this times this times this. So multiply 2 at a time. And then multiply that answer with what's left. So you got 7 times 8, will give you that 56 times.
See,
I
but
know.
when I have denominators like this,
It's easy.
know how to do the problem.
Flying right through it.
I don't like when there's too many letters.
For real.
That's the thing.
Just gonna do a part.
Where'd you
Nice.
get this pencil?
Well, now you gotta do the second process, right? And the third one by your common denominator.
Thank you. I trade you.
Oh, that should be nice.
So we don't factor this before, right?
You can anyway.
Normal pencil.
Alright, so you're not just.
Correct. You can't, but the answer would be no.
Okay,
You could.
okay, so.
Wait,
when you're
Emily?
distributing this next
Sarah,
it's not. I
Do you keep that as
Negative
like
y squared
12 and
minus
19?
1.
Okay.
Sarah,
Oh wait, no, oh my gosh, never
And
mind.
a negative 1.
I didn't know if it was.
Ignore me.
All
Oh my
of
God,
it.
you're
Actually, they're doing it still.
Don't listen to me, okay, Em?
okay.
Thank you.
Guys, what's 9 times 5?
And then
times
it's
35.
40.
45.
So now this is what I have.
I already did it in my calculator. Right?
For
If
real?
I negative, so would it just be negative 2y squared?
Yeah, relax.
Where's-
Where do you go?
Or no, you have to switch.
That's
I'm
really
probably gonna
good.
do it
Breathe
again.
her out.
You're giving
Give
me
her a
that.
second
Yeah,
to
I was
breathe.
like,
I got it. And negative X. No, we weren't in the same class. We were first year.
What?
No, we was in our class. Oh, I didn't either. Venezia. Exactly, we didn't even have a team. Yeah. I didn't even keep
You guys are scared to
Yeah.
Feel free to find it back out.
I don't even know how to add.
But
You have like I have a 7. Yep. What? No,
a second, right?
never mind. I have what, 7?
I forgot. I remember.
No.
I have a girlfriend.
The bell is about to
No.
ring.
Oh.
I said you have a second.
Woo, got scared there.
Absolutely.
Maybe girl.
Yeah,
You what?
No. Do you think
What's
Okay.
82 divided by 17?
dating a football player now?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
82 divided by 17.
It is kind of
What did
cliche
you
though.
get? 82.
4.3.
I don't necessarily know. I got it.
No,
What's 7?
Wow.
Sarah.
Paul Doyle.
Only took 4
Oh,
tries.
all right. I remember Paul.
Something wrong.
It should be 81, not 82.